There's a skill in this game you have to unlock before your jetpack will even work at all. Not upgrade, unlock. You could spend a long time in this game with your boost pack strapped to your back, hitting jump, doing a sad little hop, and figuring the thing is either broken or cosmetic, and the game will never once tell you it's switched off until you spend a point on it. That's the kind of stuff that this video is about. The systems that Starfield runs in the background and never really bothers to explain to you. So here are 10 more things nobody told you about Starfield. None of the obvious stuff. The first two videos pretty much covered that. Just sort of the deeper cuts that some players might walk past. We'll start with one that will definitely help everybody and is something that the game really should tell you. And that's you spawn in, you've got a boost pack on your back, you hit jump expecting to take off, and you just do a normal little hop. So you figure the jetpack's broken, it's cosmetic, or it unlocks later in the story. But it's really none of that. It's switched off and you're the one who has to switch it on. The boost pack does nothing until you put a single point into boost pack training. It's in the tech tree in the first row and it's available from the very beginning of the game. 1 point and now boost packs will actually work for you. Hold jump after you leave the ground and you'll boost. And it's not really a minor traversal toy. It's one of the best ways to get around in the entire game. And you could potentially go your full playthrough without it because the game never tells you that you have to get this skill in order to use it. Rank it up past that and you'll get longer boost, better control, and less fuel drain, which matters a lot and is really useful throughout the entirety of the game. So if your boost pack's been dead weight this whole time, there you go. Go grab the skill, it's right there waiting for you. So number 2 is skill challenges. So staying on the skill menu, this is something that you really need to take note of throughout your playthrough. So you'll spend a point on a skill, you'll get rank 1 easy, but you don't dump 3 more points to max it out. To even unlock the ability to buy the next rank, you have to finish a challenge first. So say for example you put a point in ballistics and the game will hand you a challenge. Kill X amount of enemies with ballistic weapons. Until that's done, that next rank is locked no matter how many skill points you've got sitting in your pocket. Piloting wants you to destroy ships, etc, etc. Every skill has one. So here's where people get stuck. They'll unlock a skill, they see they immediately can't upgrade it, and they might just forget the thing exists. Then they're 40 hours deep wondering why none of their skills are leveling up. The challenges are ticking away in the background the whole time, but if you're not actively playing towards them, it could be a very slow progress that they'll see. So check your challenges, open the skill tree, and it'll tell you exactly what that skill needs. If you're building towards a max stealth character or maxing your piloting tree, look at what the challenge is asking and then go play in a way that knocks it out on purpose. Pick the skills you're committing to early, play into them deliberately, and you'll rank up way faster than someone just hopping around and hoping it happens on its own. Third is the favorites menu. So this one's pure quality of life, but once you have it set up, you'll never go back. There's a favorite system that lets you bind your weapons, your healing items, grenades, anything you reach for a lot into a quick slot. No more pausing the game and digging through your inventory in the middle of a firefight. Open your inventory, highlight the item, and hold the favorite button. Drop the item into a slot. Now mid-fight, you flick that quick menu open, snap to your shotgun or your med pack, and you're right back in it in under a second. The big one here is healing. If you've been pausing, opening your inventory, scrolling around looking for a med pack while sitting at low health, you've been playing this game on hard mode for no reason. Favorite your heals and you pop them instantly without ever opening a menu. Set this one up the second you start a character. Main weapon, backup, heals, grenades, everything. Your whole combat flow gets smoother immediately. Small thing, but it changes how the game feels to play. Number 4, just buy your resources. If you've gotten into weapon mods, spacesuit mods, or research, you've probably hit the wall where a project wants a pile of some specific resource that you might not have. And the instinct is to go fly somewhere, scan for it, and start mining it by hand with your cutter. But you almost never need to do that. Most of the basic resources you're always short on are sold by merchants, and they're pretty cheap, a few credits each. So instead of burning 20 minutes mining iron or aluminum or whatever the mod is asking for, just take note of what you're missing and just go buy it. The best way to do this is to check the project first, get the full list of what you'll need, and then hit the merchants in a major city. New Atlantis alone has several vendors stocking industrial and manufactured resources. Buy a stack of everything on your list in one trip and you'll be set for a long time. There's a real argument for outpost resource farming if you're deep into building, and we'll get to the crew side of that next. But for the average player who just wants to mod their gear, mining by hand is a trap. The merchants are right there basically giving the stuff away. Save yourself the flight. 5th is crew skills. Most people pick crew based on whether they like them, which is fair, but you're leaving real value on the table if you're ignoring their skills. Every crew member comes with skills, and when you assign them to your ship or to an outpost, these skills passively kick in. A crew member with ship weapon skills makes your weapons hit harder. Someone with engine or grav drive skills bumps your mobility or your jump range. Park the right people on your ship and it just runs better without you touching anything else. Same deal with outposts. Assign crew with the right skills, and you boost what the outpost can do, including resource production, which loops right back into the last tip. Want a farm running in the background while you play? Staff it with crew who actually help it run. And here's the part that people might miss. You don't have to choose between keeping your favorite companions with you and staffing your outposts. You can hire a generic crew. Go to the bars in the major cities and you'll find unnamed crew who you can recruit for credits, each with their own skills. Use those hired hands to man all your outposts, and keep Sarah, Sam, the Constellation people, and whoever you actually like on your main ship or in your party. So you run the whole operation at once. Good crew on the main ship for performance, generic hires holding down the outposts, your favorites wherever you want them. Just check the skills before you assign anybody. 6. Every shipyard location in the game. Alright, so this is a big one, and it's really helpful information to have, especially on a first playthrough. So if you've got a manufacturer whose look or whose parts that you love, you need to know where their actual shipyard is, because the best and most unique parts only sell at the source. The kiosk in the major cities will give you a mix. For the exclusive stuff though, you gotta go straight to the manufacturer. There are 5 with their own dedicated locations, and here's every one of them. First is Deimos. The Deimos Star Yard is orbiting Mars, right here in our home Sol system, and the vendor is Naku Henderson. Deimos is your stop if you want sharp, angular, and military look. Hard structural parts, strong ballistic options. If you want your ship to look like a warship, this is it. Second is Nova Galactic. This one's at New Homestead, which sits on Titan, the moon of Saturn, which is also in Sol. The technician's right here on the landing pad. Nova Galactic is the one for HABs, landing gear, and grav drives, really exploration-focused vessels, including some big 3x2 HABs and a cockpit a lot of shipbuilders swear by. Third is Hope Tech, and this one can actually be kind of tricky to find. So Hope Tech is in the settlement of Hopetown, which is on the planet Polvo in the Valo system. The problem is, Valo doesn't show up on your star map by default. You have to hover over the Nerion system, and Valo pops up in a little drop-down text next to it. Jump there, land at Hopetown, and the vendor is right inside in the main building. Hope Tech makes big, bulky, no-nonsense parts. They do not care about looking pretty, they care about function and cargo space. Fourth is Stroud Eklund, and their main star yard orbits Dalvik, which is a moon of Dapala in the Nerion system, and you're looking for a guy named Havershaw inside. There's also a second Stroud Eklund showroom over in Neon if that's easier for you. Stroud is the luxury option. Sleek, stylish, fancy interiors. They do get heavy and they'll tank your mobility if you go overboard, but if you want a big ship that still looks sharp, that's them. And fifth and final is Teo Astroneering. Teo's in Neon on Voli Alpha in the Voli system, but it's tucked away. You go into the Ryujin Industries Tower, take the elevator, hit the Teo Astroneering floor, and the vendor up there is Veronica Young. Teo is all about style. Rounded, clean, futuristic cockpits and HABs. If you want your ship to look like a luxury concept car, this is the one. So quick heads up. The Stroud showroom and the Teo offices are technically showrooms, not full spaceports. So you can buy and modify there, but you can't repair. For repairs, you still need a proper ship services technician at an actual spaceport. But for grabbing the exclusive parts, those are your 5. Pick the one whose style you love and go right to the source. 7th is the stealth skill. So back to a skill reveal, this one's sneaky in more ways than one. So if you ever tried to play a stealth character and felt like you were just guessing whether enemies could see you, there's a reason for that. The detection meter, the little indicator that tells you whether you're hidden or in caution or fully spotted, does not show up at all until you put at least 1 point into the stealth skill, which is different from previous Bethesda games where it just naturally came in and you didn't need a skill for it. So stealth's in the physical tree. Grab rank 1 and that meter will start appearing, and it changes everything about a stealthy playthrough. Now you can actually see when an enemy's starting to notice you, when you're in caution, when you're detected, and so on and so forth. Without it, you're basically kind of playing stealth a little blind, and this will help you know exactly where you stand in regards to your enemies detecting you. On top of the meter, the skill makes you harder to detect while sneaking and gives you a damage bonus with suppressed weapons. So it's pulling double duty, and it's a tool that lets you see what's happening and a straight buff to your sneak attacks at the same time. So stealth is even a small part of how you want to play. This is definitely one you should invest in early. You can't optimize a system that you can't even see, and the game kind of just tucks it behind everything unless you get the skill point. So tip 8 is related to surveying planets to 100%. So for the completionists out there that want to survey all the planets, this one could save you some headaches. So say you're surveying a planet, and you've scanned what feels like almost every plant and animal that's out there, and the planet still won't get that 100% completion. You're standing there with a couple of empty slots, probably in fauna, and you don't really know what's missing. And this was something that consistently happened to me on my first playthrough. And the answer is almost always you have sea creatures left to scan. So here's the thing about the planets. When you're walking around on land, you're never going to bump into the aquatic fauna, obviously. So those slots just sit there empty while you wander around getting frustrated. The fix is to pull up the planet map and find the regions that aren't at 100% yet. If one of those regions has a coast, you need to put your indicator as close to the coast as possible and land there where it says coast. Once you've landed, head to the shoreline and scan whatever animals you can see under the water. That's almost always the missing piece. Coastal and water fauna are the ones people forget exist because you spend the whole game on dry land on planets. So before you write a planet off as bugged, check whether you've actually been to the water. Find the region that's incomplete, look for the coast, and go scan what's down there. That's how you finally get that planet to 100%. Tip number 9, hiding your helmet and spacesuit. So this one's for everybody who spent real time in character creation and then never get to see their own face because they're stuck in a helmet the entire game. There's a built-in system to hide your gear, and it could be easy to miss. Open your inventory, go to your helmet, and down at the bottom of the screen you'll see a prompt that says hide helmet in breathable areas. Flip that on. So now when you're in anywhere with breathable air, your ship, a city, a planet with a good atmosphere, the helmet will be off on its own and you'll be able to see your character's face. Step back out into the vacuum or somewhere hazardous and it will pop right back on. There's also a separate option for your spacesuit, and the difference matters. Go to your spacesuit and you'll see a prompt to hide spacesuit in settlements. The helmet hides anywhere the air is breathable, but in the base game the spacesuit only hides while you're actually inside a settlement. So in a city you'll be in normal clothes, but walking around a breathable open planet you'll still have the suit on. That's just how vanilla handles it. And for the best part, you keep every bit of protection. Hiding the gear is purely cosmetic. So all the armor, the resistance, and all the bonuses still apply to you, even if you get jumped while you're out there in street clothes. There's also a fun little detail where if you keep your helmet on inside a city, NPCs will actually point out that you actually don't need it there. So if you built a character and you actually want to look at them, make sure you turn these on. No reason to hide your own face for the whole game. Number 10, your screenshots show up on your loading screens. So I'm closing out on one that isn't really a gameplay tip, but it is one of my favorite little touches in the game. So the screenshots that you take in photo mode will end up on your loading screens. So instead of staring at the same generic art every time the game loads, you'll be looking at your own moments in gameplay and scenic views from your playthrough. Photo mode's in the scanner menu. Open it up, compose the shot, and snap it. Then down the line, when you fast travel or load into somewhere, there's a pretty good chance you'll see one of your own pictures while in a loading screen. It turns your loading screens into a little highlight reel of your run, and once you know it works this way, you actually start taking the time to line up good shots and find good views to take pictures at. It's a small thing, but it's a detail that's actually changed the way I play the game a little bit to go get some scenic shots and good views. So go take some good pictures and enjoy seeing them later during loading screens. So that's 10 more. Between this video and the first two, that's 30 things the game has never properly told you, and there's still more where that came from. So this series isn't going anywhere. If any of these were new to you, please drop it in the comments. I always want to know which ones land. And if you got a deep cut of your own that didn't make the cut, tell me as well, because I'm always learning new things about this game. Subscribe if you want the next one when it drops. I'll see you on the next one.